Hi, friends. Welcome to the debut edition of Catch Up Moment with Akin Akinpelu. I'm excited to have you on the show today, and I'm sure you've had a really good day today. So, I want to share with you something I consider really important, and I know that you will get blessed through it. And I'll talk to you on this series. We're going to consider what is called the scandal of grace together. Grace is such a scandal, and you must understand that God is a God of the least likely. God will always bypass the most likely people, and he will go to the people who are not very, very likely. So the truth about it is that God will pass by people, pass by processes just to reach out to you because he specifically wants to get to you. And you look at yourself and you tell yourself, I am the least likely to get this kind of favor. I am not the one that God will bring this kind of fame towards. But that's what God does for us as a people. God looks for unqualified people. God looks for people who are not so skillful. God looks for people who do not have all it takes. I mean, sometimes you can find God watching out for people who are weak, people who are foolish, people who are despised, downtrodden, people who are down, abased, and God is just going for exactly those people. So God can see men of strength and men of skill, and he won't go for them. So for example, in 1 Corinthians chapter 1 from verse 26 to 29, it explains to you that how God bypasses people, and God goes for people who are out of order. So if you look at yourself, you look at your life, things are out of shape, things are out of order, things are not working exactly the way you wanted, or maybe you've gone through so many things in your life that you feel that God cannot come in your direction. I can tell you something today, that man may never forget your history, but God is the one who rewrites your history for you, and he brings out something new for you. So look at the story of Jesse in the Bible, how God looked at the first son called Eliab, and by human indices we thought that's the best person who would emerge as a king, but God says that's not the person I want, because God looks at the inner, which is the inner man, which is the heart, but man would always look at the outward appearance. So, and that's in 1 Samuel chapter 16, I think, verse 7. So there are people in the Bible, 5 ladies in the Bible, who came into the lineage of Jesus Christ, and they were never part of the history of Jesus. They were not part of the family. They were not related to anybody in the family. They were just people who came from different places, and 5 of them gathered together in the lineage of Jesus Christ. So the first person I would like to talk to you about amongst these 5 women is the lady called Tamar. I mean, these were all, 4 out of the 5, just a bunch of dirty women, women who had gone through all kinds of things. The people that the society would call dirty. So went through all kinds of things in their life. People that you may say that they should be banished away from the society if you look at their credentials and the indices of the things that they have gone through. But God said that I've seen greater women on the earth. I've seen men like Deborah. I've seen greater women who have done really good stuff. But guess what? God never brought Deborah into the lineage of Jesus. He never brought the great people into the lineage of Jesus. He went for the people you would never have considered as people that are worth it. So the first person is called Tamar. Tamar is a victim of what they call life circumstances. Now, many of us have gone through times where it looks like everything happening to us, we're just victims. It wasn't, you're asking questions, how did I get myself to this level? This is not the kind of life I prayed for. This is not the kind of future I prayed for. I woke up into it and everything is just going down on me, and crises are just blooming everywhere. She was just a victim of crisis and victim of life circumstances. So for example, every man she got married to in her life, they died after a few months. It was never her fault. You could say that maybe there's something in her that was killing the men, but maybe there was also something in the men killing them from their families. She went through all of that, and guess what? Now she's out of her family, and now she's with her husband, and all her husbands are dying. And guess what? She has no social security in the society, so she's going through societal label. Number 2, you will find out that she has no inheritance even in her father's house because she has been married out. Now the only thing that she could think of out of frustration and desperation is to find out how she can have a seed on the earth. So she disguised herself to marry, to go have intercourse with her father-in-law called Judah. And anybody can look at that story and say that, come on, why would she do that kind of thing? Why would she get down with her father-in-law? But guess what? What's wrong with the father-in-law too? Why would the father-in-law sleep with a woman that is not his wife? So you find out that there was a mutual consent there. So we can't put the whole blame on the woman called Tamar. So Tamar was a victim victim of desperation, frustration, and pressures of life, and that pushed her into all the things that she got into. And guess what? All the sons of Judah that she married, they died unwelcome death at a very young age. And so somehow she needed to survive and move on with life. And so you find yourself that you're going through life circumstances. A lot of things are happening to you. Things are not working well. Crises are everywhere. Life is not smiling at you. Everything is like what young people call gbas-gbos, and it's just working like that for you. But guess what? God has a way of coming for you. He's a God of the least likely. He's coming for you right where you are, and you'll be shocked. You may think you have no address, you have no credibility, you have no indices in the society, but God will come for you. Guess what happened to this woman in the Bible? She gave birth to a boy called Perez in the Bible, and Perez was her link into the lineage of Jesus Christ. She was never related to them, but God engrafted her and put her into the purest form of lineage on the earth, which means that no matter where you are and no matter the things that have happened to you, you may not be qualified. God is not looking for the qualified. God can bring you into a lineage by engraftment and the place where you never had things to. So I want to say something to you this week. Spend time just trusting God, looking unto God. God knows you love him. Everything happening to you is because of life circumstances, and he wants to get you out of it. And I'm so sure that God is going to fix you. God bless you. Have a great week.